Welcome to another episode of The Cynical Writer. Now, what is a novella? Well, to me, a novella is a story that is longer than a short story, but shorter than a full-length novel. Now, personally, I think that people should not use word count when trying to define what a novella is, because depending on the website that you go to, you will find different definitions. Some websites will say that a novella is at least 15,000 words. Others will say that it is at least 17,000 words. Others will say 25,000. Some will say 10,000. So it makes defining a novella incredibly difficult because there are so many different definitions for what a novella is. Well, to me, a story is a novella if it takes longer than one sitting to read it in, which that can be different for different people. I mean, some people, they will read one book within an entire day. Others, it will take several weeks to read just one book. Well, personally, I will usually only read about 20 pages of a book at one time. So to me, if a story is longer than 20 pages, it's getting into the novella territory. Now, why are novellas not commercially popular? Well, I think it's because publishers want books to be of a certain length. Because the larger the spine is on a book, the more visible it will be on bookshelves. So publishers prefer longer books, which is unfortunate because I think novellas are far more precise and concise than most novels. Because one of the reasons why I think the novella is the perfect length for me is because I painstakingly go over every word when writing my stories. I try to get them exactly right. Now, of course, most of the time I don't succeed, but that's always my main goal. Now, I could not do that if I were writing a full-length novel because I would spend 10 years writing it. I mean, I already spend up to a year working on my novellas. Now, that doesn't mean I will never write a novel, but right now I think novellas are just the right length for the type of writing that I'm trying to do. Now, unfortunately, novellas can't be published in short story magazines either, because most of the time they will be too long for most short story magazines. So really the only way to publish most novellas nowadays is through self-publishing. Now, some people are under this delusion that the length of a work defines its merit. Therefore, if a book is really long or is really big or it has a big spine, that somehow means that it is more important or better than a shorter book. But of course, that's complete nonsense. I mean, size matters not, as Yoda once said. So I think that people need to appreciate novellas more and realize that novellas in some ways are more like movies in terms of how they are paced. Because if you read a novella, it might take you 1 to 2 to 3 hours to read, which most movies that you watch, it will take you 1 to 2 to 3 hours. So I think that novellas are far closer to movies in terms of pacing. So I hope you enjoyed my speech for today. Next week I will return with a different topic. And until then, goodbye.